It is not happy people who are thankful. It is thankful people who are happy. With this beautiful thought, a very good morning to all my dear students. I hope that you all are in good health. This is Shreya Jadhav welcoming you all to my e-learning channel, and today we are going to learn English Grade 10 Poem 6 Animals, written by Walt Whitman. So let us know something about the poet. Walt Whitman, born May 31st, 1819, died March 26, 1892, was an American poet, essayist and journalist. A humanist who was a part of transition between transcendentalism and realism, incorporating both views in his works. Whitman is among the most influential poets in the American canon, often called as the father of free verse. His work was controversial in its time, particularly his poetry collection, Leaves of Grass, which was described as obscene for its overt sensuality. So now let us go through the introduction for answer. Dear students, whenever you write down your answer for examination purpose, always remember to start your answer with introduction. This creates a good impact. So let us see. Poem. Poem's name Animals. Poet's name Walt Whitman. Genre Poetry. Summary. This poem is taken from the Leaves of Grass, told us that animals are better than human beings as they are calm and independent. So now let us go through the summary of the poem. The poet Walt Whitman, in his poem Animals, taken from Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass, told us that animals are better than human beings as they are calm and independent. The poet feels that human beings have lost the true meaning of life. They have become mechanical. Animals still enjoy the natural life in the lap of nature. The poet therefore feels that he would prefer to live with animals. He looks at them for a long time and finds that they do not complain or cry about their condition. They do not keep awake in the night and weep for their sins. They do not discuss about God in a manner that makes others sick. None of the animals are dissatisfied or crazy and greedy about owing things. They do not kneel down and show their respect to another or to their ancestors living long ago. They are not happy or sad but satisfied with the resources they have. Human beings are crazy, chasing material goods and being greedy. The poet realizes that humans have lost their virtues. These virtues, however, are still present in animals. The poet questions if he negligently dropped the virtues and the animals picked them up. So, this was all about the summary of the chapter. Now, let us move ahead through the reading and explanation of the poem line by line. Animals. The poet tells us that he feels more at home with animals than humans, whom he finds complicated and false. Walt Whitman has shown the comparison between human beings and animals in his poem. He has pointed out the evils present inside the human brain which he thinks animals don't have. That is why he thinks that animals are much better than human beings. I think I should turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Over here, the meaning of placid is to be peaceful and calm, and contained means to keep up in control. Over here, the poet says that he wants to live in the world of animals. Here, we can say that the poet finds the world of animals better than that of human beings. He further says that he finds animals more peaceful than humans. He says so because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. They are calm and have no greed for the things, materialistic things, or of any kind of achievements. They are self contained, means they are happy with life and never interfere in lives of others. Humans have the habit of interfering in the lives of others. So, poet thinks that animals are better than humans for being calm and not interfering in the matters of others. The poet further says that these are the reasons why he stands still and look at the animals for a long time. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owing things. Over here, sweat here means to complain, whine means to cry, sins means doing something wrong or which is not legal, which is bad. Demented means a bit disturbed. So over here, the poet says that unlike humans, animals don't complain of any misery. They never cry out loud like humans do. They show what they have lost. They never stay awake in the night, crying in repentance for wrongdoings. This means that animals are different from human beings because they don't show anger or grief if something wrong happens with them. He further says that animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. He says so because most of the human beings do this. They try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others. They do so in order to gain popularity among their fellows. So the poet thinks that animals never irritate him by doing such things just to gain some praise from their fellow people. He feels that the animals are not dissatisfied like humans. They stay happy with whatever they have. They never run behind the materialistic things. They never try to possess things of comfort or luxury. He says that none of them is mad behind owing the worldly things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. So over here, kneels means to bow down. Evince means to show or to reveal something which is true. Possession means ownership of something, owing something. And over here, token here we would consider it as the qualities a human being possesses. So here the poet says that he has never seen any animals showing his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person. They do not show devotion towards God like humans do. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in human society. In human beings, rich people are generally given more importance and treated with more respect as compared to the poor. But in the society of animals, they never do so. They never give more or less importance to any other animal. Everyone in the animal world is happy. They are not like human beings who find themselves the happiest or the saddest person on the earth. Further, the poet says that animals are more honest in showing their relations with other animals. Here he wants to say that animals use other animals as their food and they never try to hide this. Whereas human beings shows that they have nice and friendly relations with others, though the reality is totally opposite to that. The poet says that he accepts the fact that animals are true towards showing their relations with other animals. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So over here negligently means carelessly. So at the last the poet introspects, means he is talking to himself. He is analyzing his own self and he is telling that the poet introspects himself and says that from where the animals got those good qualities. He further questions himself that where his own good qualities are gone. Did he left them or had carelessly lost them somewhere? The qualities that were found in human beings in the past, like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, are now seen in animals. And he wonders that humans gave up these qualities and they have been passed on to the animals. This is all about the explanation of the poetry. Now let us go through the figures of speech. Figures of speech. The first one. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. Over here, the first figure of speech is hyperbole. So over here, there is an overstatement that the poet prefers to live with animals and not with the human beings. The second one is, I stand and look at them long and long. So over here the first figure of speech is repetition. Over here the word long is being repeated. So when words are repeated, it becomes repetition. The next one is alliteration. Over here the consonant sound L is being repeated in the words like look and long for the poetic effect. The third one is, they do not sweat or whine about their condition. The first one is litotes. What is the meaning of it? A negation is used to convey a positive meaning. And over here the negation that animals bears all their conditions. So while using not, they have represented that animals can bear all the situations. The next one is tautology. Tautology means unnecessary use of words are being done, which means or their meanings are same. So over here we have words like sweat and whine. See, sweat means to worry and why means to complain. So over here, though the words are different, but their meanings are same. That means they both are complaining. So this becomes tautology. The next one is onomatopoeia. So over here the word whine suggests sound. So this will become onomatopoeia. The next one is alliteration. Over here the consonant sound the, that is th, is repeated in the words like they and their for poetic effect. The fourth one, they do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. So over here the figure of speech is litotes. Over here negation is used to convey an affirmative meaning. That means a positive meaning is being derived from this, that the animals bear all their conditions. The fifth one is, they do not make me sick, discussing their duties to God. So over here the first figure of speech, that is litotes, a negation is used to convey an affirmative meaning that animals are frank, and over here not word is also used. So you can easily identify that this is litotes. The next one is alliteration. So over here the consonant sound D is being repeated in the words like do, discussing and duty, and M in make and mean for poetic effect. The sixth one is, not one is dissatisfied, not is demented with the mania of owing things. So over here the first one is litotes. The negation is used to convey an affirmative meaning that animals are more normal than humans. And you can also identify like this, that over here the word not is being repeated. The next one is tautology. That is unnecessary use of words, that means demented and mania, which denotes the same meaning of being lazy, but they have used different words to elaborate it for the poetic effect. The seventh one is, not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. So the first one is litotes. A negation is used to convey an affirmative meaning that animals are more normal than humans. So over here the word not and nor both are used. The next figure of speech is hyperbole. So there is an overstatement that people bowed to their ancestors who came before thousands of years. The eighth one is, not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So here the first figure of speech is litotes. Negation is used to convey an affirmative meaning that animals are more normal than humans. The next one is antithesis. Over here the opposite words, that is respectable is written, but over here respectable means happy. We are supposed to derive like this, that respectable means happy and unhappy are the opposite words which are used in the same sentence for poetic effect. Ninth one, so they show their relations to me and I accept them. So the first one over here is alliteration. Over here the consonant sound th is being repeated in the words like they, them and their for poetic effect. 10th one, they bring me token of myself they advance them plainly in their possession. So over here the first figure of speech is alliteration. That is, the consonant sound M is being repeated in the words like me and myself, and P word or the sound is being repeated in the words like plainly and possession. Next one is tautology. That means unnecessary use of words like me and myself, which has the same meaning. Okay, me and myself means one only, but still for the poetic effect they have used it. The next one is metonymy. So over here the word token represents the virtues, the qualities in short. So instead of directly writing about virtues, they have written tokens. The 11th one is I wonder where they get those tokens. So over here the first figure of speech is alliteration. That is, the consonant sound W is being repeated in the words like wonder and where. The next one is metonymy. That means over here the word tokens represents the virtues. So instead of writing the quality or virtues, they have written down tokens for poetic effect. The next one is, did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So over here the first figure of speech, and that is of alliteration. Over here the consonant sound D is being repeated in the words like did and drop. And the next one is interrogation. So over here a question is asked not for the sake of answer but for poetic effect. So over here the question is asked, but we are not supposed to answer, but this is just for a poetic effect. The poet has written down. He is not expecting any sort of reply from the readers, but he is just putting a question so that you all may think over this thing. So this is interrogation. Over here our figures of speech is over. So now let us once again go through what we have learned in today's video lecture. So we have studied poem number 6, Animals, written by Walt Whitman. The poet Walt Whitman has in his poem Animals, taken from Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass, told us that animals are better than human beings, as they are calm and independent. The poet feels that human beings have lost the true meaning of life. They have become mechanical. Animals still enjoy a natural life in the lap of nature. The poet therefore feels that he would prefer to live with animals. He looks at them for a long time and finds that they do not complain or cry about their condition. They do not keep awake in the night and weep for their sins. They do not discuss about God in a manner that makes others sick. None of the animals are dissatisfied or crazy or greedy about owing materialistic things and wealth. They do not kneel down and show their resources and respect to another or to their ancestors living long ago. They are not happy or sad but satisfied with whatever they are having. The natural resources, in short. Human beings are crazy, chasing materialistic goods and being greedy. The poet realizes that humans have lost their virtues. These virtues, however, are still present in animals. The poet questions if he negligently drops the virtues and the animals have picked them up. So this is all about the summary of, or we can say the gist of the poem, what we have learned today. The poet has described his will to become an animal because he thinks animals are far better than human beings. Human beings are greedy and full of jealousy against each other, but animals are calm and self contained. The animals are happy with whatever they have. They never complain about miseries and sorrows. On the other hand, human beings complain about their miseries. They give more importance to the rich and strong people. Stay restless because of their wrongdoings and run behind the luxurious things of this world. Whereas animals are honest about their relations and don't give importance to a particular class of people. They live a life which is full of honesty and less of greed and jealousy. So, this is all about the reading, explanation of the poetry, along with the summary and figures of speech. I hope that you all have understood today's poem. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Dear students, if you still find any doubt or difficulties, you can comment down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everyone.